Are you struggling to capture the attention of your audience or your prospects? What's going on, Sales Lift Squad? In this video, I wanted to cover specifically the importance of providing value quickly to your audience in an effective manner. And in this case, we want to use video content as an example on how to use video captions to help you provide value much quicker. And also how this whole process of just learning how to add video captions, learning how to emphasize and focus on the value of your content, how that can shape you into being a better seller. So stay tuned.
All right, everyone. So I guess the starting point here in this video is to think about what is the main value of what you're trying to get across. Now, in this example, we're using content. We're using my pillar content, for example. For anyone out there that doesn't know, my pillar content is my podcast. Right? So I release a podcast weekly, the Sales Lift Squad podcast, and I have conversations with a lot of different guests for about 30 to 45 minutes, sometimes even more. And that's just like great content to get a lot out of, right? There's a lot of different talking points, and basically the idea with micro content is that we want to take a small 30 to 60 second bite, something of value that has to tie in with the episode or again the product or service, the offering, and almost create like a teaser trailer. So really the first step is to find what we have of value. Whether we have a piece of content and we want to create micro content, what is that 30 to 60 second bite that is extremely valuable, that ties into the theme of the video, that can get people interested in learning more. Now let's take an example in a sales setting. When we're cold calling someone, you know, we're not beating around the bush when we get a DM or a decision maker on the phone. We need to be aware as SDRs, as AEs, what is our specific value prop? And whoever we get on the phone, how can we show them value as quick as possible? Let me give you another example. When we're scrolling through social media and we open up a video, and Gary Vee does a really good job of this, he gets you hooked immediately. He gives you value immediately to the point where you are inclined to stick around. You are inclined to explore this further, right? It's this idea of immediately giving value, and I think that's super important, especially in your content strategy. So here's an example of a podcast I did with Megan Castro. Feel free to check it out. It was an amazing episode. But during my editing process, the way I tend to work is I try to find a bite, a 30 to 60 second part of the podcast that I feel is a great teaser, really embodies who she is or the guest is, and it's like a perfect teaser. So not only do I listen to the full episode and I focus on a specific area, and then I have a starting point. I have a 30 to 60 second clip that I'm going to use, that I have basically made the decision that this is something of value. This is edited specifically from when start to finish. It adds value, right? You have to keep in mind that our attention spans aren't very long, and it's called micro content for a reason, because it needs to be to the point. Again, we want to train our mind. This exercise is, how do I give you as much as possible in such a small time frame immediately? It's training your mind to immediately provide value. So again, the starting point, find a piece of content or within your product or service, find the value instantly. What is going to resonate with the other person listening to the cold call, receiving the cold call, listening to the video, watching the video? We need something of value. Now, once you've found that step or have done that first half of finding that bite-sized clip, the next thing you'll want to do is go over to an application called headliner.app, and here's what it looks like. So here's what Headliner app looks like. It is a great application. If you've seen any of my videos on LinkedIn, it's probably been done through Headliner. It's such a great app that allows you to transcript your videos for free. Again, for free. So I'm going to show you an example with a clip that I practiced, that I have downloaded on my computer. So the first step would be to, again, get that piece of content, 30 to second bite, then go into Headliner app, and we're going to add some transcripts. And while this is processing, I'm going to talk a little bit why it's important. But again, as you can see here, we choose based off of our orientation. I like to choose landscape. And then we need to just drag and drop our little file here, in which I've done so right there. And then we're going to click next. Then we have an idea of what the video is. It's a 12-second video here. So again, just an example video that I did. We'll kind of dive deeper into that. But again, subtitles. Why do we even have subtitles? Why have you seen them? Again, think about it. People are going to be scrolling on their phones, and sometimes you're not always going to be in a setting to where you can just click on the video and hear it like from the audio, right? You might just be scrolling, you might be in a place where you don't have headphones, and so subtitles is another way to get your message across without someone actually having to listen to your video. And number two is, when you see a video with subtitles and the audio isn't that good, it makes it easier for the end viewer to follow along. Again, you're probably thinking it's one of those things where it's like another step, extra things that aren't really necessary. Again, you want to make it as easy for your viewer to consume your content, and by having subtitles, captions, video elements, visual elements, I mean, it really can't get much better than that. And so again, you want to make it as easy for your consumers to consume what you have to offer. And again, really want to emphasize the fact that we want to train our minds to be in value prioritization mode, right? How can I give you something immediately? If you were to click on my video and watch it, will you get something immediately from it, or will it be 2 minutes of me talking about poodles and something completely irrelevant, right? And so really the goal with this exercise is, again, I'm going to emphasize this, prioritizing value. You have to assume that the person on the other end, you have to just almost spoon feed it to them. And you know, if you're an SDR, you need to do your research. You need to understand, you know, how does your product provide value, and how can you share that or get someone thinking about that within the first couple of 15 to 20 seconds, right? It sounds super cliche. This word value is tends to be overused, but it's true. We need to come in with value as soon as possible. So it looks like our video is loading right now, which is awesome. And so I just wanted to share with you how easy it is to add video transcription. So as you can see here, video of me, and let's hit play.
This is a test video. Value is important, so let's get right to it. This is a test video for Headliner app. Thanks for checking this out.
Awesome. As you can see, it was like 12 seconds. It was just me saying whatever. A couple things that we can do here is we can actually customize the captions here. For example, I like to do like the dark background with the bigger text. That's just something that I prefer. Perfect. You can also, you know, go into here, style, add a progress animation, right? So if we have like a bar at the bottom, at the bottom here, and that's like small and save, right? So basically, you know, as you can see, the bar sort of follows the video as it progresses, right? And so again, it's fairly easy. As you can see, just like that, I've been able to add some captions here, cut certain aspects of my pillar content into bite-sized consumable pieces that have value, right? If they wanted to watch the whole podcast and go through the banter of like introducing yourself, right, that's time. And so you really want to sell your content by giving people a sneak peek. But in order to get them interested, you need to give them something to bite onto. So if you like what you see here and you want to export the video, all you have to do is hit export. Go ahead and click the video size here, the frame rates, and go ahead and just click next. But that's pretty much all you need to do to add captions to your video. Again, this exercise is pretty much just focusing on prioritizing value. And again, doing these things look like they're super fancy and expensive, but again, you can do this for free. All you need to do is give it the content that it can produce, and that's pretty much it.
I hope you found this video helpful. If you've seen any of my video clips, you know I like to go straight into value, but again, make it easy for consumption. And again, you want to emphasize what is the value and how can I go straight into the value, right? You don't typically go into a cold call not knowing what you want to ask, right? You need to be very strategic about how you're going into a cold call, about the content that you're pushing out and what the messaging is, right? Because our attention spans aren't very long. And especially in a digital marketing and a digital sales setting, you want to provide value quickly and you want to do your research ahead of time, know what is sort of the meat of your content, right? The value of your content and focusing on that, right? And prioritizing that as value. Let me know what else would be helpful, and I thank you so much for checking out this video.